If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspirational juice. It is October the 7th, 2022, and today the topic is Unchanging. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Shout out to the owner of Wave, Miss Janice. We had a awesome conversation yesterday and meet and greets. We'll see what the Lord do. The Lord's opening some doors, and there's some opportunities on the table, and so I'm taking some things under consideration. So yeah, my meeting went well yesterday. Little man was pretty good for the most part. Of course, once he warmed up to Miss Janice, he just kind of was like, I guess she felt like family, and so he started to kind of do his thing. But it was funny because when we first walked into the meeting, he just kind of was like acting shy, but he warmed up quickly, as he always do. Like they say, you don't know a stranger, which is like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll see. Anyway. So that's how yesterday went for me. I mean, I had this midday meeting, and I had kind of a rehearsal at the end of the evening because, I told y'all that I am booked this weekend, and so Miss Summer of Sky Designs is going to be going with me and performing on Sunday. And so we kind of was talking through the show and everything like that, and so went to bed kind of late. Woke up early. Woke up at 3:16. I looked up the verses centered around that as well. Looked up the what's it called? The Strong's Concordance as well. But I didn't go with any of that when I, chose a topic because, one, I ended up going back to sleep when I woke up at 3:16. I started looking at the verses, and then I went back to sleep. And then when I woke up, it was after 5. And I'm like, what? How did this happen? I don't remember my alarm going off and all this. So I don't know what's going on with all of that. But woke up, listened to my prayer meditation anyway. And that got me kind of focused on the concept of God's unchanging hand and things like that. And so I was looking up verses centered around all that. God's unchanging hand. God doesn't change. God's hands. I was looking up all those different things. And eventually, I guess the word unchanging is what stood out to me the most. And, when I started to look up verses centered around that, those verses kind of stood out to me. And so here we are. And I'm still technically giving you all the juice on time because I clicked the button to go live right at 6. So anywho, that was a sneak peek of my day yesterday, and that was how I got to the topic for today. So let's get into it then. Let's get into it and changing. So, yeah, basically these are the verses that stood out to me in regards to this concept of God being unchanging. Malachi 6:36 says, "For I, the Lord, do not change. Therefore you, O children of Jacob, are not consumed." Now, I'm not gonna lie. Basically, I was kind of going back and forth mentally about if I was gonna write this verse down. Not that I don't think it was good or something, but I did go deeper a little bit. I read some of the verses centered around it, or some of the surrounding verses and whatnot. And I don't know. I guess I felt led to go ahead and write it down anyway. I mean, it's from God's perspective, saying that I, the Lord, do not change. So Obviously it's something he wants us to know. And basically, what I'm getting from here is that, the children of Jacob are covered. Basically, it says not consumed. Um, but because he doesn't change, it means, we are covered. Um, obviously, we can go deeper about this because, maybe, I'm sure there's more going on in, the surrounding verses. But that's what stands out to me right now as I read it out loud. Hebrews 13 and 8 says, Jesus Christ is the same today, yesterday, excuse me, is the same yesterday and today and forever. Um, so again, another thing that reiterates that God does not change. Um, I know people struggle with the concept of Jesus versus God, or that Jesus is God. Again, I think I told y'all it, I was in my adult life myself before I realized that Jesus was God. Because again, the reason why is because we always refer to Jesus as the Son and everything like that. And so, yeah, and I tell y'all this all the time, every time I bring this up. So just to reiterate, if you don't know, a great example or um, description of the Godhead would be on what's the name? The Bible Project. If y'all check out the Bible Project and look up the video about God, I think it's literally about God. Then they explain the Godhead in a very practical or tangible way. So hopefully that encourages you and help you understand a little bit more as well. But yeah, regardless though, it says here Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. James 1 and 17 says, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. So, again, it's telling us that everything good comes from the Lord, and then, there's no variation in Him. I think we kind of struggle with this, and I don't know if it's because of this next verse I'm about to get into, but I think we struggle with the concept that God can do anything He want to do. Because I guess as I listen to different people ask questions about God and the Bible and everything like that, and these people, they do an amazing job of answering the questions for the people. Again, on carm.org, on what is it, cross examined, um, Christ forgiveness, even Marcus Rogers, like all of these people, they tackle these questions and whatnot, and they answer them the best way that they can and everything. And it has helped me get better understanding of certain things as well. So I'm not taking anything away from, what these leaders of the faith are saying. Um, I guess my whole thing, if I was to simplify it, is like, hey, we're not God. God is the creator of all. Like, so if you're the creator of all, you can do whatever you want to do. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Bless me. And sorry, especially podcast people, because y'all are just listening to me on sound. But anyway, yeah, God can do whatever you want to do. Because He's God, and so He has chosen to give us free will. All right. Stop trying to be a distraction. Whatever this is, let me get this out. But yeah, God can do whatever you want to do, y'all, because again, when you are the creator of all things, like Sheree Whitfield says, we're gonna check you. Like, it says in the word that there's no other God, and you know, and because of your grace and mercy, you decide to give us free will because you want us to be able to freely choose to love and accept you and all these different things. And again, we talked about that concept the other day about again, it's another great description or help me understand is this concept of love, and no human, right, or no one um can force someone to love them and that be true love. Like, that's not true love if someone forces me to love them. But if someone gives me the option and the choice to love them, and then allows me to make that decision, that's love. Like they say, what they say, if you let it go and it comes back, that's true love and all that. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, again, the scenario with the man that likes the woman and the woman don't like the man. If the woman don't like you, if the man was to say, "Well, I love you and I'm gonna force you to love me too," is that love? It doesn't feel like it. Doesn't sound like it. And again, I know that our concept of all of this stuff is probably just very, like they say, finite. um, very small in the comparison of the Lord, but or in comparison to the Lord and His wisdom and whatnot. But I don't know, just different things that I guess try to help us understand the small pieces of God that we can understand. Um, but yeah, if nothing else, then hey, remember that He can do whatever you want to do. Therefore, um, yeah, here we are, and because of that, He doesn't change. Now, let me read this verse, and then I'll like say my commentary with the Lord's will. We'll see what He wants me to say. Anyway, Numbers 23:19 says, "God is not man that He should lie, or son of man that He should change His mind. Has He said, and will He not do it? Or has He spoken, and will He not fulfill it?" Now, it says here that, God don't change His mind, X, Y, Z. Now, I don't. Now, okay, I feel like the Bible has clear indications or clear instances where He has changed His mind. So it's not that He's not capable of changing His mind if He wants to, because God can do whatever He want to do, right? But that doesn't make things null and void in regards to His word, His statements, like the plan or whatever the case is. Like, now, will God, decide to hold back His wrath, or will God decide to do whatever He want to do based on what we do? Yes, I feel like there are plenty of example of this. Um, when Moses was speaking up on the people's behalf, that kind of, I don't know if I would say it changed God's mind, but God changed His mind. In the midst of that, right? The nation that Jonah was supposed to go speak to, when they all repented, that prophecy that Jonah gave, you know, wasn't fulfilled because they repented. And so that's the thing. Again, if we remember that God can do whatever He want to do, then maybe that will give us an understanding of that verse that says that, because although yes, it says here that He's not a man that He'll change His mind. But I would think, and this is just me at this point, so if it's wrong, by all means. But I would think that He's not going to change His mind from anything that's going to get to the ultimate goal, right? Get to the ultimate final destination, right? Any of that is not changing. Now, whether when it comes to us and grace and mercy and all that, because He wants all of us to repent and all those different things, if we do, then ultimately that's where some changes or variation can come from, in my little humble opinion. Again, based on Bible, based on what I'm observing. But hey, I mean, I guess that's something we got to seek the Lord about. Like at the end of the day, He knows our hearts. He knows what's on our minds. He knows all. And so therefore, like, it's not a question of like, oh, well, God, I guess the thing is what I'm observing a lot of is this whole concept that makes it seem like we know better than God. If people will take issue with the God of the Bible, and then they're like, why did He do this and why did He do that? And that doesn't seem fair, right? It doesn't seem fair to us. But we don't know all, right? We aren't God. So therefore, I mean, again, our understanding is very limited. So who's to say, that the way we think about whatever the situation is correct? Again, when we only know this much of whatever it is, and when I said this much, y'all, I just held up a little bitty fingers for those that are on the podcast. But yeah, just something to think about, y'all. This is just something to think about. Again, I think the ministers stay online, like, the Bible does not contradict itself. It's our minds that have the limited understanding of what it's saying. So again, we can all seek wisdom. We can all, ask the Lord for more understanding. Check out the Go Deeper section because there's plenty of verses, to peruse and let marinate on our hearts, souls, and minds regarding this idea of God never changing or unchanging. But yeah, y'all, that's the juice. That's the juice this morning. Just a nice little reminder that God does not change. The Bible verse of today is Matthew 5:16. It says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. But tonight, you know that it's Friday, y'all, so we have a new episode of God, Sex, and Love, the talk show that will be going live at 7 p.m. It should be a chat with Miss Daisy Page. Powerful, powerful testimony. So be on the lookout for that episode tonight at 7. You guys should be able to view it at godsexandlove.com and on YouTube and all those amazing places. We'll share it as well on the different social media platforms. But yeah, y'all have a great, great Friday. Bye-bye.
Everyone is stuck at home, but life is still happening around us every day. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and celebrations. Send your friends and family the gift of wine from the comforts of home. Wine shop at home with Miracle of Wine. Wine, gift baskets, wine accessories, and more at miracleofwine.com.